For this session,
Afternoon.
we will talk about the automation of payroll. So for this session, of course, what we need to learn is the computation of your payroll, and secondly, the automation of your payroll through Excel. The automation of your payroll through Excel. So let's start with, of course, your payroll itself. So what is payroll? Payroll is, of course, the process of paying your company's employees. So paying of company's employees. And the paying of company's employees generally entails three steps. First, of course, is to track the hours of your employees. Second is to calculate the pay of your employees. And third is to distribute the pay of your employees. The tracking of the hours of your employees is done by your HR department. The calculation of the pay of your employees is done by the accounting department. And the distribution of the pay of your employees is done by your disbursement. Normally, accounting department, under it, we have also your payroll department. So let's start and look into the process of your payroll. First, the supervisor will receive time cards, and these time cards will be reviewed and prepared for personal action. So, what is this personal action based on your time cards? The supervisor will now check if ever the time cards are correct, if there are approved leaves, approved overtime, or there are undertime, etc. So, together with the time card, the supervisor will have a personal action. Personal action, the action as to these time cards. These two documents will now be forwarded to your payroll department for the calculation of your payroll. On the calculation of your payroll, of course, what we need to create is a paycheck and a payment for our payroll register. So based on these two documents, we now get our employee records. We prepare and create your paychecks and payroll registers. So as you can see here, from the process, we create paychecks and payroll register. The payroll register, of course, will return the employee, the list of employees together with the total pay. The paychecks are the different checks in the name of an employee and their pay. So these paychecks will be forwarded to the supervisor, and the supervisor will review and distribute these paychecks to the employees. Now, going to your payroll register, it will go now to your cash disbursement department. So payroll register, they will now review that payroll register and authorize for the cash transfer. The payroll register will be filed, and this payroll register will be registered now for a fund transfer check to the bank. Okay? And that's how the payroll process are paid, or how payroll is paid. So ultimately, it has three distinct steps. We track the hours, we calculate the payment, and we distribute. For this particular topic, our focus is the calculation of the payment together with the automation of the payment, together with the automation of the payment. So let's start for the calculation of your payroll. So first, we have here the computation of your regular day work. Okay. So to compute for your basic daily rate is equal to your monthly rate multiplied by 12 divided by total working days in a year. This total working days in a year is 313 if you are working Mondays to Saturdays, and 261 if you are working Mondays to Fridays. So again, monthly rate is equal, daily rate is equal to your monthly rate multiplied by 12 divided by the total working days. Normally, we follow the 261 days or Mondays to Fridays. So for example, our monthly rate is uh, 40,000. So let's compute for our daily rate. Daily rate is equal to 40,000 multiplied by 12 divided by the total working days in a year. We follow 261. So our daily rate is equal to 40,000 times 12 divided by 261. So that is 1839.08. 1839.08. Okay? That is for our daily rate. How about if you work on a premium or you work with a premium pay? So when can we say that we are working in a premium or with a premium pay? We can say we are working with a premium pay if ever that is a special day or special holiday, a regular holiday, a rest day, or a regular holiday with a rest day. Okay, so that happens. So how do we compute if ever it is a special day? If it's a special day, it is 130% multiplied by daily basic rate. Okay. So let's say you work in a working holiday, special working holiday. So how much is your pay? So 130% multiplied by our basic daily rate. Let's make use of this rate, 1,839.08. So how much is our pay? 130% of 1839.08. So we have here
$390.
2,390.80. So that
80.
is our payment for our special day. That is our payment for special day. So you just need to multiply it to our basic daily rate. Next, what if it is a special day and it is also your rest day? So rest day together with special day, what is our rate? 150% multiplied by our basic daily rate. Next, regular holiday, 200% multiplied by basic daily rate. And if that is a regular holiday together with rest day, 260% of the basic daily rate. Now, take note of our premium payments here. Our premium payments is 30%, 50%, 100% for regular holiday, and 60% for a 160% for a regular holiday and a rest day. So you just need to determine the day in which the employee work, if that is a special day or a rest day, or a special day plus a rest day, regular holiday plus a rest day. Okay. So let's have another example. Work in a regular holiday. Work in a regular holiday. So one day that is regular holiday. So let's compute for our premium. So that is 200% of our daily rate. Our daily rate, we have computed it a while back at 1839.08. So 200% of 1839.08 will give us 3678.16. But this 200% is divided into our daily wage rate, which is 1839.08, plus as I told you a while back, the premium of 100%, also 1839.08. That's why if we try to divide this also to 390.80, we can divide that on the 30% and the 100%. The 100% representing the and the 30% representing the premium. So 100% is always 1839.08, the computed daily rate, and the 30% will be equal to 551 0.72. That is our premium payment. So that's a work done. If ever it is a special day or rest day, special day plus rest day, regular holiday plus rest day. Take note, is special day or rest day. How about if we work on a night shift? If we work on a night shift, that is equal to 10%. 10% of the night shift hours. Right? 10% additional on the night shift hours. Question, what is the night shift hours? Our night shift hours under the law is from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. Our night shift hours is from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. So whether it is an ordinary day or a special day, whatever, our night shift differential is always equal to 10%, okay, of the basic hourly rate. So we have here hourly rate. How do we compute for your hourly rate? Our hourly rate is equal to your daily rate divided by 8. Sir, why do we divide it by 8? Because under the law, a working day is equal to 8 hours. A working day is equal to 8 hours. That's why to compute for your hourly rate, that is equal to your daily rate divided by 8. Okay. So let's have an example. So let's say you work from, by the way, that is 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. 6 a.m. So let's say, oh, it is 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. Okay, let's say, for example, we work from um, 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. So based on your question, 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. So let's say you work from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. You compute for the night shift hours, which falls within 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. So in short, from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m., that is your night shift hours. Okay. So 10 to 11, 11 to 12, 12 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5. So you have 7 hours. So you have 7 hours night shift. This 7 hours night shift hours is eligible for a 10% night shift differential. This is eligible for a 10% night shift differential. So let's compute your night shift differential. Your night shift differential pay is equal to 10% of your basic wage. So let's say your basic wage is 15,000. Let's get the hourly rate. So hourly rate, 15,000 multiplied by 12 divided by 261 divided again by 8 to get for our hourly rate. So our hourly rate is equal to 86.21. Okay? Multiplied by our hours of night shift differential. So 7 hours. So 7 times 86.21 times 0.10. So your night shift differential is 60.35 plus your basic daily wage of 86.21 times 8 hours. 689.68. Your total pay for the day. So total pay for the day is equal to 689.68 plus 60.35. Okay. Take note, you will only get a 10% night shift differential on your work done between 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. So any work done between those times. So here in our example, you work from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. So what is within only your night shift differential is any hour which is done within this day or within this time. So 10 p.m. until 5 a.m. or total of 7 hours, you will get a night shift differential of 10%. Okay? Sir, what if I work from, let's say, 3 p.m. to 12 midnight? Okay? 3 p.m. to 12 midnight. So what is within your night shift differential here? Your night shift differential is from 10 p.m. to 12 midnight. So only 2 hours. So take note, only those hours within the night shift hours or 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. is eligible for night shift differential. Okay? Only those hours within the night shift hours, 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. is eligible for night shift differential. On our first example, 9 p.m. to 5 a.m., pasok ang 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. On our second example, 3 p.m. to 12 midnight, pasok ang 10 p.m. and to 12 midnight. So those only hours are applicable for night shift differential of 10%. Sir, question, why is it on our formula it is 110 of the basic hourly rate? Because you will compute for the hourly rate now of the night shift hours. Okay? Or we can compute this way. The total working hours is 8 hours, right? So 1 hour non-night shift hour and 7 hours night shift hours. So the non-night shift hours is still at 100%. The night shift hours is at 110%. Multiplied by our hourly rate. What is our computed hourly rate a while back? 86.21. Okay. So 100% times 86.21, 86.21. 100%, 110% times 86.21 times 7 hours, we have here 663.82. Okay. 86.21 plus 663.82, we will still get 750.03. So as you can see, it's still the same. Okay. On the first one, we just separated the basic daily wage and we get only 10%. On the second solution, we separated non-night shift to night shift hours. For non-night shift, it's still 100%. For night shift hours, it's still 110%. Okay? I hope we are clear. You will only get the time within the night shift hours, which is 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. Okay? Next, we go to your overtime. If a night shift hour is an hour or a work hour within 10 p.m. to 6 a.m., an overtime is a work done outside the normal 8 hours. So in excess of 8 hours. So it is 25% for ordinary days. If that is a rest day, special day, or regular day, 30%. Again, 25% on ordinary days and 30% on a rest day, special day, or a regular day. Okay, so for example, total hours work is 10 hours. Basic monthly is 30,000. Compute for the pay daily. with the overtime of 10 hours. Okay. On our first solution, we make use of 25%. On our second solution, we make use of 125%. Okay. So let's assume it's an ordinary day. Okay. So first one, our total hours is 10 hours. So hours work 10 multiplied by our hourly rate. Let's compute our hourly rate here. So 30,000 multiplied by 12 divided by 261 days divided by 8. So what is our hourly rate? 30,000 multiplied by 12 divided by 261 divided by 8.
172.41.
172.41. Okay. So this is 172.41. That is your working hours plus your OT pay, which is 25% of 172.41. How many hours of OT? If that is 10 hours, the normal working hours is 8 hours, so we have 2 hours of OT. So multiplied by 2 for 2 hours of OT. So 172.41 times 25% times 2, we will get 86.21. For the total working hours, 172.41 times 10, we get 1724.1. Total of 1810.31. So this is your total pay for the 10 hours. What if we make use for 125? So the normal working hours of 8 hours and the OT hours. Okay. So for normal working hours of 8 hours, so this is 8 hours multiplied by 172.41. Here, for the OT hours of 2 hours, so 125% multiplied by 172.41 times 2 hours. So how much will we get here? 8 times 172.41. We will get 1379.28. And for the next one, 172.41 times 125% times 2, we will get 431.03. If you total those amounts, you will still get 1810.31. So still the same. So you just need to know, or just be careful with your formulas if you want it at the total hours rendered or based on the extra hours. So if it's an extra hour, you just multiply 100% plus the premium. If only on the hours, if the total hours is already computed, you just get the premium. Okay. So this one, it's purely the premium of 25%. This one is 100% plus the premium, depending on your formula. Here, we already totaled the hours. Here, we divided the hours, 8 and 2, for the normal working hours and the OT hours. Okay? That is how we compute for your overtime. Again, we multiply it to your hourly rate. And you already know how to compute for an hourly rate. How about an overtime on a night shift? Still the same, the overtime and then your night shift pay. Okay, so we're done with your premium payments. Because generally in a payroll, the following are the items we need to compute. First, of course, your basic pay. Second, we compute your premium payments. Third, we compute for your mandatory contributions. Fourth, we compute for your withholding tax. And then lastly, we compute for your net pay. So the basic pay, this is always given. The premium payments were done. We have already discussed if ever we have your premium pay on rest day, special holiday, regular holiday, etc. We also discussed already, if ever, night shift differential, this is 10%. Overtime, depending, 30% or 25%. Next in line is your mandatory contributions. So what are the different mandatory contributions? Your different mandatory contributions is provided for in your RA 8282 or your Social Security Law. So under your Social Security Law, it mandates three social insurance systems or social security systems that an employee must mandatorily pay to the government. So these are different social insurances. So these social insurances are known as SSS, your PhilHealth or PHIC, and then your HDMF. So let's go to them one by one. First, your SSS or your Social Security System. Your SSS was created to provide private employees and their families protection against disability, sickness, old age, and death. So what is the security provided here? Protection against disability, sickness, old age, and death. Take note, SSS is only applicable to your private employees. Okay? SSS is only applicable to your private employees. It is not applicable to your government employees because for government, what is used is GSIS. For government, what is used is your GSIS. Take note, the Government Service Insurance System is the equivalent of Philippine government or for Philippine government employees. Therefore, if you are government, you are under GSIS. If not, meaning you are a private employee, you are under SSS. Next mandatory employee benefit is your HDMF. HDMF or Home Development Mutual Fund, it is also known as your Pag-ibig Fund. It is a provident savings system supplying housing loans to private and Philippine government employees and to self-employed persons who elect to join the fund. So here, what is the Social Security? The security or benefit is housing loan to private and government employees. Therefore, HDMF applies now to your private and government, whereas SSS is only to your private, not to your government. Because for government, it is known as GSIS. Take note, the benefit is for housing. Next, we have your PhilHealth or PHIC. PHIC is your Philippine Health Insurance Corporation. PhilHealth is administered by the Philippine Health Insurance Corporation and provides employees with a practical means for paying adequate medical care in the Philippines. So what is the benefit here? Medical care. Medical care under PhilHealth. Again, applicable to any employees. Applicable to any employees. So whether private or government, you can make use of PhilHealth or PHIC. So what are the three mandated government contributions? First, we have your SSS. Next, we have your HDMF. Next, we have your PhilHealth. SSS applicable to private, HDMF private or government, PhilHealth private or government. What is secured under HDMF? Housing, PhilHealth, health, or medical related. Private, we have here your disability, death, also in sickness, etc. Okay? So those are the securities provided by the three mandated government contributions, SSS, HDMF, and PhilHealth. So for private employees, always you are paying these three items. For public employees or government employees, they also pay the three items, except that SSS is changed to GSIS. So who are covered under these three mandated contributions? So all employed persons under the age of 60 who earn a monthly income of more than 1,000 are required to contribute to the three social insurance funds previously mentioned. As I told you a while back, the mandated contributions are also known as social insurance systems or social security systems or social insurance funds. So, who are covered? If you are under 60 and you have an income of more than 1,000. So, all persons employed age 60, monthly income of more than 1,000 are covered. Government employees under retirement age of 65 and officers of AFP, PNP, BFP, BJMP, and PCG who are under 60 are mandated by law to contribute to the GSIS. So take note, for GSIS, who are mandated to contribute below 65, and then below 60 if you are from the following AFP, PNP, BFP, BJMP, and PCG. If any, you are mandated under 60 to pay GSIS, under 65 if you are not employees of those. Okay? So those are covered under SSS, PhilHealth, Pag-ibig, and GSIS. Let's proceed now to your SSS contribution. So how do we compute for your SSS contribution? Generally, if you still know, there's different contributions or government contributions. They are shared by your employee and your employer. That's why whenever you pay the salaries of your employee, you record it as salaries expense, as a debit, and a credit to your SSS payable, Pag-ibig payable. Also, you have PhilHealth payable, withholding tax payable, and then cash. The cash here represents the net pay. The three payables here represent, of course, our mandated government contributions. And then withholding tax payable represents the amount of tax withheld on employee compensation. It is the tax withheld on employee compensation. That's why that's how we make an entry whenever we pay our employees. For our employer's contribution, how do we make our entry? Our entry for employer's contribution is SSS, Pag-ibig, PhilHealth expenses, a debit, and a credit to your payables, SSS payable, Pag-ibig payable, and then we have your FIC payable. So that's your entry whenever you have a contribution from the employer. And whenever you already remit the payment, so you debit the different payments. So SSS, Pag-ibig, PhilHealth, and a credit to cash. Okay? That's how we make our entries. Whenever we have these different mandated contributions for your employee and your employer. Take note, under employee, these are already deducted to arrive on our net pay, which is the cash. For employer, we have an employer share always. Later, you will see there are employer share. And then finally, we remit those payments to the different government agencies. So for SSS, of course, you provide it to your SSS, remit them to SSS, Pag-ibig to Pag-ibig, PhilHealth to PhilHealth. Okay? So when you remit, you remote already the portion for the employee and for the employer. Okay? That's how we remit those government contributions. We proceed now to your SSS. So how do we determine your SSS contribution? We have here your SSS table. Your SSS table looks into first your salary, monthly salary, and your monthly salary will be translated to your monthly salary credit. And based on your monthly salary credit, we get for your employee share and your employer's share. Your employee share is equal to 4% of the monthly salary credit, while your employer share is equal to 2% of the employee's share, 2% of the, no, twice, not 2%, twice of the employee share plus 10 pesos. Okay? That's how we compute. So let's say, uh, sorry, let's say your monthly salary is 17,900. So your monthly salary is 17,900. So based on that monthly salary, let's take a look at the range of compensation. So that is under 17,750 up to 18,249. So 17,900 is within the range of 17,750 to 18,249.99. So we need to get for our monthly salary credit. Our monthly salary credit is 18,000. So to get for the employee share, you just multiply that to 4%, 18,000 times 4%, we will get 720. Okay, let's check if that is 720. Yes, it is 720. 4%. How about for employee share? For employer share, that is twice the employee's share plus 10. So 2 times 720 plus 10 will give us 1,450. So let's check if that is equal to 1,450. Okay, so it's here 1,450. So how do we compute again? We first get for monthly salary, compare it to your range of compensation, and then from your range of compensation, you will have a monthly salary credit, 4% times MSC for employee, for employer, twice the employee share plus 10. So we're done with SSS. We proceed now to your pag-ibig. So for pag-ibig, it is dependent on your monthly compensation. If it's 1.5 and below, 1% for employee, 2% for employer. If over 1.5, 2% for employee, 2% for employer. So the maximum monthly salary used for pag-ibig contribution computation is 5,000. So in short, if it is more than or equal to 5,000, it is 5,000 times 2% or 100. If less than or equal to 5,000, if less than or equal to 5,000, but greater 1.5, we use 2%. Okay? But if it is less than or equal to 1.5, then it is 1%. Again, more than or equal to 5,000 because the monthly maximum salary is 5,000. It is capped at 5,000. So 5,000 times 2%, 100. If not, 2% in between, less than or equal to 1.5, 1%. Okay? And normally, salaries are always greater than 5,000. This is the monthly salary. Normally, it's greater than 5,000. That's why later on, we just compare it if it's less than or equal to 5,000. So that is for pag-ibig. How about your PhilHealth? So for PhilHealth, this is something that changes every year based on the law which created the PhilHealth contribution. So the total contribution here is the contribution both for employee and employer. Therefore, you need to divide it by 2 to get for the amount for employee and employer. So here, if you look at it, if it's less than or equal to 10,000, you pay 400. So in short, 200 for employee, 200 for employer. If it is more than 10,000, but less than 80,000, it is equal to 4%. So 2% for employee, 2% for employer. And if it is more than or equal to 80,000, it is capped at 3,200. So 1/6 for employee, 1/6 for employer. Okay? That's how we compute for your PhilHealth. So what are our three mandated contributions? SSS, it is 4% for the employee. It is 4% of the monthly salary credit. For Pag-ibig, it is 100 pesos or 2% if ever less than 5,000, greater than 1.5, and then 1% if ever it is less than or equal to 1.5. How about for PhilHealth? For PhilHealth, we have the following. 200 pesos for employee if it's less than or equal to 10,000, more than or equal to 80,000, then 1/6, and in between is 4% or 2% for employee. For employer, you already know, employer for SSS, twice the employee share plus 10. For Pag-ibig, the same. So 100 or 2%, etc. Or 2% itself. And then we have your PhilHealth, again, the same. So we follow this 200 if ever less than or equal to 10,000, more than 10,000 or less than 8,000, 2%, and then more than or equal to 80,000, 1/6. Okay, so we're done with two items already, premium pay and your government mandated contributions. We proceed now to withholding tax. So how do we compute for your withholding tax? To compute for your withholding tax, we follow a withholding tax table. The general formula in your withholding tax is equal to your compensation less the minimum bracket or the base. You multiply it to your rate plus the tax, which is your basic tax. Okay. Normally, a business applies semi-monthly. So we focus ourselves here in your semi-monthly revised withholding tax table. Okay. So if the compensation semi-monthly is 10 for 117 and below, then there's no tax. If it's 10 for 17 up to 16,666, no basic tax. These amounts are known as basic tax. This amount is the minimum and this is the maximum. And of course, this is the rate. 20% over 10 for 17. So if it's 16,667 to 33,332, we have our tax base of 1,250 plus 25% of over 16,667. Here, if it's 33,333 to 83,332, 5416.67 plus 30% over 33,333. If it's 833 to 333,000 to 332, tax base is 2416.67. That's the basic tax plus 32% over 8333. Do you want to know how to get for our basic tax? How did we get 1,250 here? How is this zero? This is zero because the total tax here is zero. This is 1,250 because the total tax here is 1,250. Whatever is the amount of our basic tax, that is the total tax from the previous bracket. Sir, how did we compute 1 to 50? Okay, let's try. So the higher amount here is 16,666. The lower amount here is 10,417 plus 0 multiplied by the rate of 20%. How much? 16,666 less 10,417 times 20%. You will get here 1 to 50. That's why we have here 1 to 50. Let's try here. The highest amount is 33,332 less 16,667 multiplied by the rate of 25% plus the basic tax of 1 to 50. Let's see how much. 33,332 less 16,667 times 25% plus 1 to 50. We will get here 5416.67, which is this one. So again, as I told you, the total tax here is the basic tax here. So the total tax here again is the basic tax here. The total tax here is the basic tax here. Later, I will teach you in your income taxation. We will still be together in your income taxation. So we will try to compute these amounts. And we will further discuss this withholding tax table. It's just that I just want you to get the idea on how do we get the withholding tax. Again, compensation less the tax base, which is the minimum amount, multiplied by the rate plus the tax, which is the basic tax. So if you try to look here, this is the minimum or the tax base. This is the basic tax. Okay? That's how we will compute our withholding tax table later. Now, we're done with the three items. So we're done knowing our mandatory contributions. We're done with your withholding tax. We're done with your different premium pay. Now, what is our problem? We are now ready to automate payroll through Excel. So how do we automate now payroll through Excel? Our problem is the computation of your gross pay. Of course, gross pay can easily be computed as long as you already have your basic pay plus your premium pay. The basic pay, of course, this is always given. Our problem is, how do we compute for your premium pay? We need to automate that. Next, we must automate also the computation of your SSS. We already learned how to compute for that. That is equal to 4% of the monthly salary credit. PhilHealth. We also know how to compute for your PhilHealth already. Your PhilHealth depends whether it is less than or equal to 10K. So we will pay 200. If it's greater than or equal to 80K, so we pay 1/6. If not, we pay 2% for the employee. That is the reduction for the employee. HDMF. We already know all that. If that is greater than or equal to 5K, we will pay 100. If not, we pay 2%. If it's less than or equal to 1.5, we pay 1%. Withholding tax, we use your withholding tax table. And we can already go with your net pay. So how do we get for your net pay? Your net pay, we said, that is equal to your gross pay less SSS less PhilHealth less HDMF less withholding tax. Or how do we really compute for net pay? So gross pay, which now consists of your basic pay plus any premium pay less your SSS, PhilHealth, HDMF, withholding tax, and your loans. Loans happen if ever there are loans of employees. Okay? So if there are employee loans, which is directly deducted to the pay of the employee, so you must deduct that to arrive for our net pay. So what are the different functions that we will make use for the automation. We will only make use of the following functions. So first, a VLOOKUP. So VLOOKUP is used to find things in a table or arranged by row. So VLOOKUP stands for vertical lookup. It is a function that makes Excel search for a certain value in a column or table array in order to return a value from a different column in the same row. Right. So our syntax here is VLOOKUP, our value, the range. The range is known as your table array. Column number, this is the column wherein you will get a return from that particular value, false or true. 0 if it is an exact match or false. 1 if ever it is an approximate match. Later, we will learn how to make use of the lookup when we go through on our Excel automation. If we are already discussing our Excel automation or how to automate all of these items through Excel. And of course, other basic mathematical functions, plus, minus, multiply, and divide. Furthermore, we can make use of an if function. So you already know the syntax of an if function, the condition, the true value, and the false value. Okay? So condition, if met, true. If not met, it will return a false value. Those are our functions to use. So what is our requirement in this particular session? Our requirement is to submit an Excel file which contains 4 tabs: schedule, database, first half, and second half. And the file should automatically compute for the semi-monthly payroll. It must automatically compute for our semi-monthly payroll. So we will uh, that we will to do or try to do in our Excel later. So that's it for the automation of payroll.